Welcome back, everybody. So we're going to go on GoblinZ tonight. GoblinZ, depending on how you look at it. Just do a run on there. It'll be wiped in a week's time, or less than a week. 6 days' time. So it'd be nice to do a run tonight. This ain't about base building. We do need to commit suicide because we shouldn't be here. Everyone's okay out there? Had a good Friday? Oh, no. Joy. Sort my inventory out. So get used to these snowstorms. We're going to have a lot of them on Chernarus. Good find early on. I see you, Mr. Zombie. There is money spawning on them still. But it's ultra rare. I mean, you did find some when you first started. It's an ultra rare spawn. It won't happen on Chernarus anymore. I'm not going to take the money out of spawn. But I'm working out at the moment what we're going to give you to make money. Can't decide yet. Yeah, rope, really nice find. That early on. You don't expect it, do you? Need a fire before we need anything else. Before we go off on an adventure. Brilliant. No, you stupid game. No, I've got a backpack on. It's got more slots. Oh, dude. So the filter bottle should attach to your belt, because we've got a patch on for that. Should. I don't know for sure if it will, but it should. When the Z killed me last night. Yeah. I do. So, yeah, this wipe, you have gas ones, you have flash ones, and you have grenade ones. I am sorry. It's just that the grenade ones are ultra rare. It was part of an experiment to see if it would work, because obviously I want to use them in the future. Because I hadn't done the grenade one before. I'd always been told it would work, and in testing I'd got it to work, but it doesn't always pan out like that on a server. Could really do with the plus symbol, but I don't think we're gonna overly get it because it's so cold outside currently. You won't be starting next wipe with such nice clothing either. Yeah, it makes sense. It makes life harder, and that's what I like about it. Players have to make choices. I love the fact this Hunter backpack is that the straps are broken, so it's just like held together with tape, and there's just rubbish on it and a Livonia sticker. Did you know in Stalker 2 there is a Livonia map in a hard to reach area? There's a fact of the day for you. As I said, I'm going to nerf everything apart from clothing on the next wipe. So there'll be a 30% nerf across the board apart from clothing, which will stay normal. Because it makes sense. Because you're going to need to light more fires. You're going to need to have more clothing. I haven't got there yet. I haven't got to the Stalker 2. I haven't got to the area with the Easter eggs, but there's quite a few DayZ Easter eggs in Stalker 2 as a way of, the devs, it's their way of saying thank you to the community that built all the Stalker servers. And when they launched, BI thanked them, and they are, I suppose, in a way that it's the same universe in a roundabout way. We wouldn't have DayZ if it hadn't been for Stalker. The original Stalker started off people thinking we could have games with monsters and zombies and big open-ended, and it got people thinking that way. You know, prior to that, we didn't really have anything like that. Of that level. So they do sit in the same sort of universe, in the same way that the original Fallout does. It all fits into that sort of post-apocalyptic, end-of-the-world, survival against all odds world. That we all love, you know, blatantly we all love it. It's... I'm looking forward to Survivor missions working on the next wipe. That's a big one for me. Give you guys that mid-game stuff to do. And me. Because I'll be streaming the next wipe. Probably more than I have this wipe. Because I'll be off for like 3 weeks of it. That's been my luckiest start yet, I think. That's good going, mate. That's really good going. Obviously, we're going to a conventional flag next wipe, so you just have to keep your flag up to keep your base secure. No, I've got no idea, mate. The files aren't showing me anything useful with it, so yeah, it's like some of our other players say, DayZ giveth and DayZ taketh away. Sometimes weird shit happens, and we just have to live with it. It's taken about 3 weeks for the loot to get to a point where it's sort of spawning correctly. Is why you need to do long wipes. Filter bottles well worth it. I'm going to put filter bottles, I think, on the next wipe. You won't get snow in the same way, but you should be able to use it on you little fucking bitch. Should be able to use it on water. I've got to test that to start with. We'll certainly put the jig in. Does that make sense to do? Out on it. Fuck that. I will miss not having as much clutter around the map, though. Been quite nice having houses that are filled out and lived in more. We won't get that on Chernarus, which is a shame. What about? Yep, we'll take that. Okay, mate. Welcome back. But yeah, same map option, same town names coming up when we enter a town next wipe. Less civilian zombies, more military. Yeah. Actually, in this game, a really good rucksack. It's got low profile on your back. We might not have nice backpacks anymore, though. I might make people work with vanilla. Just got to work out how many heavy breaching charges you can fit in an Alice pack before I decide. Because the amount of heavy breaching charges you can fit in will be how many code lock people are allowed. Because then people have a method of raiding. Because what I can't do is end up in a situation where you can't raid anyone because you can't carry enough explosives there. Yeah, and then it's one less mod to load and I can save it for something else instead. Like, I probably won't have been able to craft lots of items again. Because I don't think it's been that much use. Maybe the crafting the gun cleaning kits, but that's like one mod. Each of those craftable item things is one complete mod. So obviously you're... Oh. Yeah, the gun cleaning kits I'll probably keep. The epoxy maybe not. It's a bit OP. But then you see, if it was one mod that I was loading for all the crafting, that's not so bad. But each of those craftables is a separate mod. So that's like 5 mods I'm having to load to have 5 lots of crafting. Okay, mate, no problem. All right, mate. I've also sorted out what you're having as end game rifle loot. So you're going to have, for end game, the 338 British Army sniper rifle. But the ammo will be ultra, ultra rare. And mid-tier, you'll have access to things like K98s, G36Cs. But that'll make going for end game worth it, because it will do a kill at 2Ks. Scopes are in game as well. You'll have scopes for it. And obviously the trader will buy it for a lot. So there'll be scopes for it as well. There's a good scope for it that will reach out and touch people. You'll also have access to things like taser pistols, like taser guns that police carry. What I might do though is make the ammo for it only purchasable from the collectible trader rather than findable in the world. So once you get that weapon, you'll have to go out to the oil rig whenever you need ammo. And it will be really expensive for a box of ammo. So it's very much I want that rifle, I want the scope, and I want the ammo, but I'm going to have to really work hard to have that. I'd like to find one of the nice ammo reloading mods that works well. That would work. That would be quite good, where you build you gather components and you reload your ammo in your base. But I think it would be too much. I think people would have too much ammo doing that, which is why I've never done it. But it'll be interesting on a hardcore Chernarus what route people take to loot. You know, it's not going to be as simple as players are used to. Exactly. And probably on the oil rig that has that trailer on will also be where the key card, if we go for key cards, where they are. So then I can make it out of bounds for building. So I don't want to have too many out of bounds areas. So traders you can't build on, that's fine. Probably the bunker in Tissy that I'm putting in or not bunker, the compound in Tissy that I'm putting in, you won't be able to build on that because we can have keycard rooms in there as well. But I'll probably have that as tier 4, and then it will, the oil rig will feel like tier 5, if that makes sense. You know the medical bags you found last night? Yes, I've looked at that. I would, the ones you just unzip. I would love to have that on a server. I just can't do it. There's not a mod for it, so they've written that themselves. And I don't know how. I'm not a modder. I think Mark described it quite well this week. I'm not a programmer. So all of that sort of stuff's a bit over my level. Certainly not getting warm, are we? Not getting plus symbols warm, but I wonder if that's just because it's broken. We would have plus symbols by this point. But I will probably start you off with a bag. Just, it'll be... Hi, Savvy. Really, mate, is that how it works? Who'd have thought? How are you, mate? John, Savvy's a person that once, when I died on the mouse and I got back to the fire, he made me eat some lovely meat, which happened to be myself. So kind of him. I'm good, Favy, thank you. Really good. 3 days left of work and then I'm on leave. Good place to be. Yes! So it's Savvy's fault I'm the evil goblin. There'll be a heli down somewhere then. With the local shooting. Savvy, you been playing any Stalker 2? You still working through it? Or did you complete it and that's it done? Wind's getting up. Okay, mate. Yeah, how long you got? A good time off this year? I'm still playing through it. I'm really enjoying Stalker 2. Yeah. Really enjoying Stalker 2, but I'm recording it for members only. And then once the whole series is done, then I'll release it on YouTube as a series. Seemed like a good idea. It is a good idea. And then I'll start another game that's members only, and then once I've completed it, release it as a series. Same as me, yeah. So I finish, so that my regiment finishes next Friday, but I've taken Thursday and Friday as leave, extra leave, and then I'm back on the 6th. Here a sheep. I know you do, John. You like the evil servers I build. They're not that evil. They're just a little bit harder. But it's a good level of a little bit harder. Just makes them a little bit more interesting. Wow, I just got a red warning on my phone issued by the government for strong winds in my area. First time I've had an actual official warning come through on my phone. Red warning for wind has been issued in the area. Extremely strong winds associated with storm Ujumi Flip. Expected to hit at 3 AM on Saturday. Stay indoors if you can. Etc, etc. That's amazing. That's good. Glad they're coming through. Going to be a windy night then. Yeah, red warning means danger to life, doesn't it, on weather warnings UK, which basically means we're getting wind that will bring down trees, take out internet, etc, etc. I'm alright. I live in a town. There's some big trees around me, but they don't face my direction. Words bugger come to mind. There is that. When that first happens to players, they so don't know what to make of it. Find. Excellent find. Okay, where were we? Oh, look at that. Might as well, seeing we got a blizzard coming in. Do a little bit of fishing. Exactly. It'll make all the difference. What do you reckon? Wellington boots? No, a fish. Here comes the bad weather. Just got off, had a quick wee hour on. Seems a dead freshie at Trader. Any of you? That's me. I killed myself at Trader because I was in just running around the map doing shit. So I committed suicide to start this run off. Savvy, what's a millwright? That means nothing to me. No, and I had seen you were being on brash. Oh, it's already ready to go. Even better. Thunder time now, is it? Joy. Industrial mechanic is a profession which operates industrial machinery found in construction sites, factories, power plants and other sectors. We install equipment, repair stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Good career then, mate. I'm stood right next to the fire. I hope I get a an Ujumi flip. Yeah, so I gathered millwright would have fitted back with the mills in the day. Just didn't work out how it would fit in or what it was now. But yeah, factory maintenance. Yeah, makes sense. People will always need stuff. So there'll always be manufacturing. Not getting this famous plus symbol you promised me, John. I think it's bugged on this at the moment. And pay's not too bad either. That matters, mate. You know, I've never earned good money. It bothered me more when I was young. Now, I'm happy with where I am. But yeah, I think it's just if I logged out and logged back in again, John, I think it would work fine. I think it's just me. I think it's happening. I think it's working. But it's just not showing the graphics at the moment, and that's fine. I can live with that. It's not a... It doesn't matter massively. I can judge when I need a fire. Whereas now I've got to my last... What are we looking at? 52, 62... 15 years of work. I'm more worried now about work-life balance, pension, slowing down, not rushing after the next big job with lots of pay. Things have changed. Yeah, exactly. Because my temperature's going down now, but you and I both know that it shouldn't be. What we will try and do, I expect, will be too warm. It will be too daytime. That's what matters more than anything, Savvy. You're going to spend a long time working. You need to at least enjoy what you're doing. So many people hate their jobs. mean, I love what I do for a living. Yes, I'd love. Don't get me wrong. I'd like better pay, but I'm not going to leave my job because of it. You know, this is probably the best job I've ever had. Ah, home of the crab. I burn water, John. I can't cook to save my life. I enjoy cooking. When Mum goes and I end up buying a house, I can't wait to be back in the world of being able to cook food for myself, like nice roast dinners and things. For as long as I have enough to pay what I need to and enjoy family time, I'm good. I'm the same now. Took me a long time to get there. I hate the fact there's no loot in these houses. I blame the server owner. He's horrible, he is. See, I've not used an air fryer yet. I should really. I'm still stuck on microwaves. Or put anything you want in the oven for half an hour at 200. It's the convoy. Mighty Ruger. I hate the fucking Ruger. Fucking shit weapon. We all know I hate the Ruger. Right then. Now they've finished. Right, let's go back and search that convoy better. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to raid people, find convoys. It'll be the same next wipe. There'll be stuff on convoys. 100%. If you're still here, Brash, next wipe, the end game weapon will be a 338 sniper. But very hard to get, and very hard to get the ammo for. The convoys spawn and despawn and move spawn. So there's 25 convoy locations on the map. And once I'm 300 meters away, it'll wait so many seconds and then it'll calculate where to put it next. But you won't always get it. On this wipe, you can't. But next wipe, you'll be able to. It'll be at an end game location. Probably within a secure bunker that will need a swipe card at Tissy. In a locked crate, more than likely. And the ammo will be somewhere else. Again, in a locked crate. If we have locked crates, and if we don't, it will be done some other way, but yeah. always dancing around here, aren't they? Come on, let's have a chat. Come on, zombies. Come on. Excellent. To do that, yeah, obviously I need to add more stuff. We are having storms, like we've got here. We're having the same weather conditions that we've got here, because I can do that without having to mod anything. So it's not adding to the mods. And we'll have cold food, because I can do again that without having to add to the mods. Conditions my bashy thing in. Damaged. That's damaged. We'll stay in mine. Oh, you can do it, but we will have. I don't. Yeah, I'm not into the alien shit for me, but certainly we'll have the storms in. It'll probably be slightly colder than this wipe, and you won't have such good clothing to start with. I'm going to nerf everything apart from clothing. So clothing will have a normal spawn, because you're going to need more of it just to get by. Now we need to get onto that police car without getting bitten. Like that. There we go. But I'm adding in more points of interest, so as much as there'll be less loot, there'll be more places for it to spawn. So there should be a lot of loot around by going to lots of different places. And you'll need more fires next wipe. Yeah, agreed. And the 338 would just be... Yeah, it becomes a one-tapper, but to get to it is going to be very, very, very difficult. And to get the ammo for it is going to be very, very, very difficult. And it'll be interesting to see whether players keep it as base as a trophy weapon. Or go out on the ground with it. Because if you go out on the ground with it and you get killed, you're going to be gutted on Chernarus trying to get back to your body. But I won't have a lot of them in the world. I won't have them spawning normally. It will be a reward for, not hard work, but a reward for players that spend the time getting to that point. And it's heavy. So, you're making a choice about what else you can't carry. And I mean, we're not really hardcore vanilla now. We do have certain things in to change things round. But I like to have a reward in. So, I just haven't decided yet what I'm going to put in to help you guys make some money. Because it can't just be weapons trading every wipe. And I haven't quite worked that one out yet, but we will, in time. Basically, we're going to have a bunker, not a bunker, a secured compound up at Tissy that you need a swipe card to get into. In there is where you'll find endgame stuff, but they'll be in keycard rooms as well. And then you'll also have, on the trader oil rig, other keycard rooms, or other loot crates. So, they're both no build areas, along with normal trader. There'll be a reason to go there, but they won't be easy to get to. No, to get to the oil rig, you'll need to get a boat. To get a boat, you'll need to probably secure and find the parts and get fuel and all that sort of stuff. And you'll need a reason to go out there. You'll need to take survival kit with you. You'll need to have warm clothing before you go. There'll be a fireplace on the oil rig, but you know, there won't be any stuff out there to help you light the fire. Tissy might be gassed, so you might need to get a full NBC suit to go into that part. I won't have AI on there, but there will be AI on helicopters still, because it makes sense with the loot that sort of spawns on them. I'm not going to get the plus symbol, we realise that, because it's bugged for me at the moment, but We'll just sit here for a while. At least get myself to a position where I should have the plus symbol. There might be some other events. I'm looking at C-130 crashes and civilian airliner crashes at the moment. See if I can make them work. But I don't want too many events happening. John, I could change that. I can make the AI live past a restart, but I don't on purpose. I mean, we might change things next wipe and have the AI as... I might change their weapons they've got and have them as lootable, potentially. So you might be able to loot the AI after you've killed them. It's a potential. I just put different weapons on them so they're not all carrying high tier weapons. I could switch them to like pioneers. So their effective range is like 100 meters, and maybe one of them has a mini AK. So, in the real world, I have a plus symbol now. We know that. Just for some reason, it's putting my temperature down. I'm looking forward to having survivor missions on there for you guys massively. I keep saying it, but just because of what it will allow you to do. And if I can't get that working, we'll have photographs instead, which will lead to a loot area. So you find a photograph and then go off on a little mission. It'll have a clue on it, and you'll find a stash that you'll then dig up with loot inside. So you'll have one of the two. I've not seen any survivor mission servers since 1.26, which worries me a little bit. And I won't know till I try and get it working. Yes, agreed. Which is why they'll be out at sea. The only way of getting there is via boat. The loot will be mostly shit loot and then keycard crates, basically. And you'll need keys to obviously open the crates. So you'll have to gather keys, store them in your base, find a boat, make sure you've got fuel and a spark plug, take the boat out to the oil rig, open the crate, extract the loot. You nearly got shot, mate. Yes, you did. Nearly. And then get home alive. Off the rope today. Yes, John, you do. If we have those ones. We can't have them both because they both use the same mechanic to make them work. I would never put it on, but I looked at the mod today that allows you to turn all the scarecrows into being evil scarecrows that knock you out and steal one item of your inventory. I will miss, as I said earlier, these houses. We might be able to do some stuff with them, little bits. I imagine Survivor. Yeah, no, the photos are good. The photos work well. I prefer the radio missions just because of how they work, and there's a lot more to do with them. Water. Oh, we got some fishies to eat. Okay. Not found a map yet today. But I will make sure that everything that's good loot is hard to work towards. It's not an easy thing to get. So in which case they've modded that themselves. And they know they're better at coding than I am, John. Because they do use the same mechanic. That's alright, Chuckles. And welcome. You have to remember that I am not a modder. I do not. I can manipulate JSON files. What I can't do is rewrite mods, or build mod packs, or understand C++. One of the things I do on this server is, on a normal DayZ server, in vanilla and mostly every modded server out there, when the last player leaves the server, it freezes all the loot. Everything just freezes at that point. And when the next person jumps on the server, everything starts again. What I have is a server runs 24/7, 365, with all the loot replacing itself, with all the missions happening, with the aircraft crashing. All that happens if people are on the server or not. But what that means is that there's forever a changing of loot. So you could log out for a few days, no one could be on the server for a week, and then they come in and it's different loot on the ground. So it feels better, I think. But because I do that, I also have the bit that means that every time there's a server restart, it looks for every single spawn point on the map that could have loot. And as long as it's allowed to, based upon my settings for the amount of loot we have, it places an item down. So if any player comes on after a restart, they've got just as much chance of surviving as any other player. I have watched it, mate. I don't. It's not strict. I don't quite agree with what he's saying, if that makes sense. Because you can... Yeah, I'm not 100% with him on what his conclusions are. Because there's an element of BI said they were changing all the loot, and what's happened is the loot stuff that they were talking about is roughly what's happened. So it's difficult for me to say, well, that's a mistake. Yeah. Players might not like it, but I don't think it was a mistake. What I need is a church. Here are sheep. You know what sheeps mean? Sheep means cleaning kit. Or goat. Yeah, that's potentially an error, but it's not strictly true. Yeah, I'm just, no, I'm not. A lot of his stuff I like. That I didn't draw the same conclusions myself from it, basically. If there was an actual problem, BI would have fixed it with the hotfix that we got like a week after it came out. So I don't think there's a problem people are making it out to be. I understand players are unhappy that you don't have the same world of weapons that we used to have. You know, I get that players don't like the fact that Livonia has more NATO weapons, with Warsaw Pact weapons being rare. Chernarus has Warsaw Pact weapons, with NATO weapons being rare. And Sakau has a mixture of everything being rare. I get that players don't like that. I get it. But that doesn't mean it's broken. And not being able to find a magazine, as long as you can single load the weapon, doesn't mean it's broken. It's the end of the world. But maybe I look at things differently. And the majority of servers I play are... On this server, 6 rags and a piece of animal fat will make you a cleaning kit. And I need to clean the AK. So, another question. Has anybody played any of the Ghost Recon beta? Yeah. I ran around last night for the first time on it. Really enjoyed it. Died. Fine against the bots. But as soon as I met a player, I was slaughtered. Fucking fences. We will have that again next wipe. I think it's been quite useful for players to be able to see what crafting we have on the server without me having to mention it all the time. I've had a couple of people message me and say, how do I craft so and so? And it's just really simple to be able to say, go here, click on this, read the recipe. Right, where's my nearest well? John will know. I haven't got a clue. Got to go back to the craft menu all the time. It's shit on me with a 4K monitor because I can hardly read what the crafts say. But it is useful. It is worth having. I'm glad we've got it. And I prefer it than the expansion book. I think it's a better way of doing it. And it will also cover things like base building with the new mod. When we go to expansion base build. So people that haven't used it before. Obviously, I'll do a little video to explain. It is tempting, isn't it? You look at it and you're like, I want to go up there. I need to see if I can get heavy metal poisoning to work on Chernarus. You're all like shaking your head saying, don't you dare. Yeah. I won't do that to you. You'll be back to purifying water normally, so... Though I need to test whether the filtered water bottle will work on Chernarus to filter just water. Make it clean. Because if that will, then it's another item I can add to endgame. Oh yes, if we had heavy metal poisoning, I wouldn't do it because we don't have a volcano. We have nothing lore-wise to have it on Chernarus. If I did put it in, which I won't, then I would add the tablets in. But I'll keep it as it is. There's plenty of wells around. There's plenty of rivers that you can use. Ah, there's a church. Excellent. So there should be, with a big town like this, a well nearby. Guessing there'll be a well up here somewhere. It is only a guess. Need another bloody fire already. Because we can eat the meat, and that will give it a little bit of hydration, won't it? Yeah, told you got the right balance with fires and hunger and fluid. I have, but it's going to be a little bit colder next wipe because you're not going to spawn in with such nice clothing. So you will need slightly more fires, but there's going to be more wells around. Let's be honest, every town has a well. Every river, if you have the tablets, you can purify. It's only 140 bucks. You must hate it whenever I get to the end of a stream and I commit suicide with all that lovely loot on me. Next wipe like that won't be happening. I'll be base building and out on the ground looking for your bases. Doing all that fun stuff. Yeah, learning not to comment on things stops me putting more evil shit in. Is that a road? Path. That is a path. That will lead to a well. Maybe not. That should lead to a well. It does. Guys, would you like me to put in a base this weekend that you can raid? With some good loot inside? So off stream, I would build a base. I would put 5 doors in. And I'd put some barrels inside with some good loot inside. Right, see if we can get a free map off a priest, shall we? All tiers. It would be a mixture of everything. There would be food, there'd be meds, they would be... Oh, what tier doors? Mixture. I wouldn't pre-tell you. Because some players might have not enough explosives to get through all of them, so... You know, you might find that the last door doesn't have a code lock on it, or you might find that all of them are tiered. You might find one of them's tier 3, one of them's tier 2, and the rest are tier 1. I won't tell you beforehand, yeah? Because it will stay up till next Thursday, so you've got time to find the resources. Yep. I found 2 explosives there. That would do a door, that would do... You know, that would blow in. You only have to find a few of those. Maybe I'll build a little compound in God mode. And give you something to raid. Put some nice loot inside. I need to see whether this is working, whether the priests are giving away maps or not. There'll be maximum doors. There'll be 5 doors. 100%. But I might do it in a different way. I might have some of them... I don't know. We'll see. You won't know till you recce it. Yeah? I'm not going to tell you beforehand what the layout's going to be, am I? Because that's no fun. I might show you what the barrels have inside them. Yes, but this will just last for with the aftermath ones. The code locks fall off the door, and you've got 4 hours to take it out before it despawns. So we're not going to have that. We'll just have a base that's there, and I'll publicise it. Yes. Maps are spawning on them. Perfect. But it gives you something to do between now and Thursday to work towards an end game. Or between tomorrow morning when I set it up. Good. Maps are working. That's what I wanted to see. Okay, I'll do it then. I'll put it in. I won't give the location away until I've built it, but it will be somewhere on the main island. And it will be, and I'll do an outer compound wall, like with the Jurassic stuff, and then I'll do a base inside. I'll put a computer in with enough nails for it to last to the end of wipe, and I'll put more loot inside than any one of you can carry out in one go. Yeah. And then once it's finished, I'll publicise its location. I'm glad the maps are working on the priests, because that means next wipe we can do some really clever stuff. What I'll do is I'll put nails and code locks on the construction workers. And we'll have medical items on medics a bit more, and we'll do a bit more of that sort of stuff. So you'll have to go to a construction zone and kill a construction worker to get nails or a code lock. Obviously you'll get one construction worker surrounded by military zombies, you know me. Oh yeah, the grenade ones. Yeah. Sometimes that happens on my servers, you know. Sometimes this evil goblin deploys grenade carrying zombies. He's a nightmare. He really is. But having nails and having items spawning on tools, having saws and hammers and all that sort of stuff spawning on construction workers makes sense to me. Suddenly, killing zombies, you won't get food off them, but you'll have a reason to kill them. That's all right, mate. Glad to have been of service. There's not that many grenade ones on the server, but there are some grenade ones. If you're full health with body armor, it will just break your legs. If you're not full health, it can be the end of it. But it's a very, very low percentage chance to get one with a grenade. I said it at like 0.1% chance that it would happen. Because I realised that otherwise players, it becomes too much, comes too often, the server becomes unplayable. I'm more happy that the maps are spawning correctly. That gives me hope for the future. Before we go up this bloody mountain, let's have a fire. Okay. Yeah, red health. You could have survived that. You had the right gear with you. Not like trying to build fires in DayZ on a slope. We all know that as much as it's a little bit better now than it used to be, see again, the flashbangs and things like that are not a guarantee. They're a percentage chance. I don't. As much as it might come across that I'm always evil, I'm not always evil. Yeah, I've got. Oh, there's no lighters on my servers. Lighters are too OP. Lighters work when they're wet, so we don't have lighters. We have matches and flares and such like. I never knew that lighters would work when wet until Fire told me. And that's why, at that point, we got rid of them forever. Yeah. It can be difficult on my servers when you get a few things going boom. I don't actually up the amount of zombies, but obviously I change a lot more of the zombies to be military. Because it makes it harder. I like being able to use the code, the actual DayZ itself, to make the server harder without having to add mods to do it, if possible. Because it's things that other people could do on like PlayStation or Xbox. It would work just as well. At some point, I'll do a video explaining how I manipulate the code. We know that we've got a plus symbol now, even though the game doesn't want to let me have them. Let's go climb a volcano. So badly done, that bit. Everything else worked, and then that's too square. It's a shame. There's a few places like that on the map. It's a shame they didn't paint it better. No, I'm not going to run down in there and get poisoned. Which way's the hut? That way. That way? Roughly? Yeah. You see the pub from here. Yeah. They should have done so much more with this volcano. See, there's a mod out there. It's a paid mod that makes it spit fire out and has an event attached to it that if you get too close, you get hit with molten lava. if a modder could do that, they could have done it. And that would have worked. Well, that would have been awesome. And glowing at night. Alright guys, that'll be it for tonight's stream. Thank you for watching, thanks for interaction, thanks for just being here and hanging out with me. As per normal. If you see a goblin in your sights, miss.